Good morning, viewers. Today is 25th of December 2023. Merry Christmas to you all. I think we are coming to the end of this year. This year, there have been a lot of battles, especially when it comes to the political terrain in Nigeria. Indeed, one minute Nigerians wanted a new thing to happen in Nigeria this year. So when we think about what we've been through this year, I think it's a cause to thank God for even keeping us alive to see the end of this year. So there is something I want to talk about. You see, there is a new strategy that Tinubu administration has adopted, and it's the same strategy that Buhari used when he came to power. You know, when Buhari assumed, even right from his campaign, one of his favorite campaign promise is that he wants to fight corruption. If you ask him, Buhari, what are you going to do for Nigerians? He said, I will first of all tackle corruption. That was what he has been saying everywhere he went during the campaign. Now, when he assumed office, there was a propaganda that he was fighting corruption. Remember that during Buhari administration, they discovered that snakes swallowed some millions of dollars in jumbo fees. They saw money in Ikoyi apartment, billions of naira. They said it belongs to Rotimi Amechi. Later, they did not see who it belongs to. So many corruption happened under Buhari administration, and they were using all those funds to deceive the masses that these people were fighting corruption. They were deceiving Nigerians for them to believe that they are fighting corruption. But what happened? The CBN governor, Emefiele, has almost 500 and something accounts in US, China, and United Kingdom. The administration that was fighting corruption was more corrupt than Goodluck Jonathan administration. Now, this new administration of Bola Tinubu, if you have been on the internet, if you have been following the Nigerian politics, you have been seeing that like today, there is a headline that says that former minister under Buhari administration of humanitarian affairs embezzled 37 billion naira. 37 billion naira. Now, she was indicted by the new anti-graft chairman that Tinubu set up. Now, that is apart. You see how they quickly arrested the EFCC chairman, that is Mr. Bauer, when Tinubu assumed office. They arrested this man. They just charged him to court. Not only this man, they also arrested Emefiele. They have released Emefiele. That was about 2 days ago. They released him secretly because of powers that be. After so many allegations that was leveled against him, though he is still going to be tried. Now, the reason why they are doing all these things is to shed people away from thinking that they themselves are looting money. It's just to make people not to believe that these people are corrupt. But believe me, this is the propaganda that we have known. Nigerians sometimes forget history so soon. We forget where we are coming from. We forget what has happened to us in the past. We will not be deceived again. We have been deceived in the time past. If Tinubu government refused to stabilize the naira by not buying their SUVs and so many things abroad, by patronizing made in Nigeria product, if Tinubu administration don't want to encourage foreigners to stay foreigners and living every day, so don't believe them when they say they want to fight corruption. By the way, you enter through corruption, you enter office through corruption. What do you mean by you want to fight corruption and be deceiving Nigerians and wanting us to remove our attention from what is going on in their administration? We are not going to forget that the lawmakers, they took almost $105 million at home. We are talking about almost 105 billion. That is the money they are taking at home for this Christmas. Allegedly, it was reported in Vanguard newspaper. So, coming to think about all these things, you will see that this administration we are seeing incompetence everywhere. Incompetence. Well, we are still waiting to see if there is anything they are going to do different from Buhari's administration. When Buhari started his administration, everybody thought that he's going to do well. People say he's going to fight corruption. He's an action man. He's this, he's that. But at the end, what we saw was a disaster. And here is Tinubu telling us that he is going to continue from where Buhari stopped. Oh my goodness. He said he's going to continue from where Buhari stopped. And Nigerians are clapping for him. May God help us. So no matter what happened, I believe Nigerians will still survive everything that they are going to be through. But I believe that things are not going to continue like this in Nigeria. As we're entering New Year, we pray that God will touch our heart so that we ourselves will make things happen. So that we ourselves will be able to become a good opposition. Because sometimes it doesn't take only leaders to make things happen. It takes a good opposition for Nigeria to become a good country. It does not necessarily need a good leader. It needs a good opposition. Where there is no good leader, good opposition is necessary. So that is why we really need to make up our minds that we must become a strong opposition. Because if we do not become a strong opposition, leaders will get away with everything they are doing. I used to talk this thing always. When Goodluck Jonathan was president, I knew what APC did. They mobilized a lot of people, any slight thing, fuel subsidy, this and that, they will enter street. Tinubu, who removed fuel subsidy, sponsored protests against Goodluck Jonathan when he removed fuel subsidy. Everything about Nigeria is propaganda, hatred. So this is not fair. I think if this is not going to work for us, we should start thinking about other alternatives. I think one of the things that made Nigeria to be great today, when people will say that Nigeria is the giant of Africa, I think it was when Nigeria was under, regional governments. We have the northern, the southern, I think east and western part. So each region has their own leader. If Nigeria could return to regional government, I think it will be very, very good and better. Now, there is also a conference that Goodluck Jonathan called when he was president. Now, the conference, that was where the issue of restructuring started coming out. People were thinking that Buhari is going to restructure Nigeria. But we came to realize that since it's not going to favor him, it's not going to favor the powers that be, where people will have their own police. I mean, the local people will have their police. They are police from their people, police who knows the bushes, police who knows how things around their environs are. They refused. They refused because the restructuring also entails that people have to control their resources. And I think that could have been the best thing Nigeria is supposed to practice so that there will be competition. Because now, we have only one seaport in Nigeria. We have only one seaport in Nigeria. I mean a functional seaport that is in Lagos. And Nigeria is getting to 250 million people. And of which, everybody knows that part of the eastern part of Nigeria is the Igbos. They are business people. If we have two seaports in the southeast, it's not going to be a bad thing. So there are so many things. If I come to reason about Nigeria, I said this thing is not going to work soonest, but we are not going to give up because when I also think about so many countries who are great today, they fought a lot of internal, battles and conflict. And that is why I'm saying that we must rise up as a good opposition to correct the powers that be. Any capacity you are, use it to say the truth about our country. Anywhere you find yourself, use it to say the truth about our country. Because our country needs people who will tell them the truth. Now, I'll continue to say this over and over again. Opposition is what Nigeria needs, a strong opposition. I know that we deserve a stronger opposition, but if you see the opposition that is rising now, you see everything that the government does. If they see people that are criticizing, people like Mr. P2P, I also urge Atiku to rise up to be doing this work of opposition. It doesn't matter whom you are. It is a good opposition for the incumbent government to be doing well. So I just wish that this 2024, we are going to be strong opposition. We are going to have and develop strong opposition in Nigeria so that we will have a little bit development like we have ever wished. Thank you so much for having time to listen to this video.